Idaho Matters podcast is brought to you by St. Luke's On-Demand Virtual Care, which allows patients to see a provider from their home using a computer or smartphone with on-demand care for common ailments, such as a cough, sore throat, or a sinus issue. More information at stlukesonline.org. I'm Gemma Gaudette, the host of Idaho Matters. We'll be taking you to all Idaho's 44 counties this year, like when we heard about the 125th anniversary of the Women's Century Club in Canyon County.
It's just been such a tradition of community support and wonderful things, and 125 is spectacular.
Who should we talk to in your county? Send us your ideas to idahomatters@boisestate.edu and tune in each weekday at noon and 8 for Idaho Matters. More Idaho Matters now from the studios of Boise State Public Radio News. I'm Gemma Gaudette. We are traveling all over the state because we know there are interesting people and places and histories in each of Idaho's counties. We're calling this the Idaho 44 Project. So when Brenda Robb sent us an email about the community canvas in Elmore County, well, we couldn't resist. This nonprofit, which is part of the Mountain Home Arts Council, survives through community support, and it brings beauty to the walls of businesses and parks and sheds for free. And Brenda is joining us now to tell us more about it. Brenda, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
So Brenda, my understanding is you're an art teacher. So how did you get the idea for Community Canvas?
So when I went to high school at Mountain Home High School way back in the 80s, we had a World Book of Records, right? That we had the most murals in a public school. And unfortunately, things happen and administration changes, and they chose to paint over all those murals. You can imagine there was quite an outcry, and people were very upset because that was many, many, many years and lots of hands that created all those murals. So as an art teacher that came back to work in my alma mater, I would love to, take that project on again, but people are very leery of taking that project on because they don't want to have another situation like what happened way back in, the 80s. So where they paint over everything. So I looked elsewhere and I found some ugly walls on the back of, businesses in alleys, and asked if they wouldn't mind us painting a mural on there, and they were for it. And so 10 years ago, we started this big project we call Community Canvas.
So let's talk a little bit about this, Brenda. Describe exactly what you do, because you will literally turn any wall or space into a piece of art, and it's free.
Yeah. So Gemma, we are willing to paint on almost any wall or surface. We've learned along the way certain things are a little bit harder than other things. For instance, if a business is owned by somebody else, let's call it a bank, and a bank would have to go through corporate and then some lawyers, and then it becomes a lot harder and time consuming to get approval to paint on their buildings. And a lot of times they might want just branding type murals versus just any kind of mural. And we are here to offer, free murals, but we ask that our artists get to paint what they like to paint. The artists don't get paid. And so it's important to us that they have a lot of free will. So basically the artists turn in a mock-up, and then we show it to the business that we want to paint on their wall. And if they approve it, then we go forward and we start earning money to buy the supplies and get it painted.
So I'm actually looking at your website that shows quite a few of these murals, and I mean, they are really neat. And I've been in downtown Mountain Home a couple of times over the fall, and I've seen a couple of these and didn't realize what this was and how it worked. So can you explain maybe some of them, because people are listening, so they can't see them, but the one that really sticks out to me is the Blue Pit Starry Night, because it's kind of an homage to Starry Night.
That's correct. We that is a Blue Pit is our brewery, the first brewery in Mountain Home, and so they had a nice big wall in the back that has a garage door plus a regular entrance man door, some electrical boxes. Anyway, there was a lot of things that was going on that wall, and so it had a lot of mismatched smaller murals, and they were hoping to like just make one big one. And so the artist was sweet enough to put an homage to a Blue Pit dog in the Starry Night mural. And so it's adorable, and it's kind of a sneaky little thing because it hides the man door quite a bit and the garage door quite a bit. It just looks like a really beautiful mural. Everyone should see it. It turned out amazing.
And I am also looking at Super Mario. This is hilarious to me.
That is in one of our parks. We just got our swimming pool back after being under construction for quite a few years. And so it's right by the swimming pool. So you can imagine that there are a lot of kids roaming around this park. And so one of our artists also likes Mario Brothers. And so did an homage to Mario Brothers. And you can get in there and pretend like you're, doing the little punches or steps that it takes to be a part of that game. It's a really big mural that takes up, a whole big side of a wall that has probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 different rooms, kind of like bathroom size rooms in that one section. So it's a really big mural.
And I mean, this group has painted more than 200 murals so far, and you've called this project a museum without walls. Why is this project so important to Mountain Home?
First of all, if you're an artist or somebody that does appreciate the arts, you probably get tired of seeing one color all the time. And so I was tired of seeing just grays and browns all the time. I don't mind gray and brown, but I don't need to see it on everywhere I look. And so this, I think, is important for us to not only open our own eyes to having something that makes, our eyes smile, because there's much more color out there than just brown and gray. But also, I feel like it is the most important thing is to showcase some of the talented people that live in our community, and we have a lot of talented people. So it's nice to give them the opportunity for other people to be, to see their works.
And before I let you go, how can people get involved with Community Canvas if they want to?
So we do have a website, which you mentioned, and I believe you're linking it onto the story, but it's Community Canvas Moho, so MOHO.org. And then also honestly, we do a lot of work on Facebook. So if they just look up Community Canvas on Facebook, there's usually something that tells, how to get involved, like whether you want to sponsor a mural, which is really easy, $250 tax write-off that pays for our supplies. Or if you want to actually paint, it tells us when we're going to have some kind of meeting to get things organized, which we have one coming up soon next month. So, it's a great way to easily find out what is happening.
Well, I want to thank you so much for taking time to talk with us about this and bringing this to our attention. We've been speaking with Brenda Robb, the founder and organizer of the Community Canvas in Elmore County. And as Brenda mentioned, we will put some pictures of the murals on our website. They are great. Just go to our Idaho 44 page at boisestatepublicradio.org. And if you have an idea for our Idaho 44 project, just send us an email, idahomatters@boisestate.edu. I'm Gemma Gaudette, and this is Idaho Matters.
Looking for another podcast to listen to? Check out The Nature of Idaho from our partner station KISU in Eastern Idaho. Join hosts Peter Pruitt and Dr. Leif Tapanilla as they share fascinating stories from the Gem State's great outdoors, celebrating Idaho's wildlife, landscape, and natural wonders. That's The Nature of Idaho from KISU. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.